Hello and welcome to the Commander's Quarters. I'm your host, Mitch. Glad to have you here. Here at the Commander's Quarters, we're all about Commander on a budget. Today we have an episode of Commander's 2 Cents. On episodes like these, I give you my own personal take on topics about the format in general and current news. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. And while you're at it, subscribe and review our podcast as well. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the history of the Commander sets. Ikoria is just around the corner, and with it, some new Precons are on the way. So I thought it'd be fun to talk about the history of the Commander sets and how they've evolved over time. Now, just a quick note with this episode, I'm only covering the non-reprinted Commanders and sets that brought in new Commanders. So essentially, if a Commander set has new Commanders as well as old Commanders, I'm only going to bring up the new Commanders. But there are some Commander sets that are strictly reprints and no new Commanders, so I'm going to talk about those still. Hopefully that's clear, but if not, we'll get to it anyway. Anyways, the Commander format has grown substantially from that very first Commander set. And obviously it was a format even before those Commander sets actually came out. The bigger that Commander gets, the more focus that Wizards seems to be putting on Commander and perhaps more products as well. Wizards has stated multiple times that 2020 is the year of Commander. But we'll get to that later. Let's start all the way at the beginning of these Commander sets. So the first Commander product, if you could really even call it that, were the Commander-themed decks. This is actually all the way back from 2009, and it was only available on Magic the Gathering Online. The decks featured two Commanders from Legends with Ravinia Soulsinger and Zira Arian. Now, Legends is the set that had the original Elder Dragons in it as well, and it is well before 2009. So these Commanders obviously weren't new, but the fact that Wizards was putting resources into making Commander products, if you can call it that, was new to them. But essentially this was Wizards' first attempt at dipping their toe into the pool of Commander. And again, this actually was just online and not at all in print. Their first actually printed Commander product came out back in 2011 with Commander. This logo might look somewhat familiar to you because you've probably seen it on a card, but you also have probably seen it on EDH Rec. The logo is obviously very similar, so you can kind of see where they drew their inspiration from. Anyways, this product featured 5 3-color decks with brand new Commanders. And those Commanders were Kaalia of the Vast, Riku of True Reflections, Gave Guru of Spores, Zedru the Great-Hearted, and the Mimeoplasm. So basically, these are the very first legendary creatures that Wizards actually just created for Commander and built decks around them. So while these were the legendary creatures that the decks were actually built around, they weren't actually the only legendary creatures in those decks. In the Kaalia deck, you also got Teriel Reckoner of Souls and Bassandra Battle Seraph. In the Riku deck, you got Animar Soul of Elements and Edric Spymaster of Trest. In the Gave deck, you got Kerador Ghost Chieftain and Vishkal Blood Arbiter. In the Zedru deck, you got Ruhan of the Fomori and Nin the Pain Artist. And finally, in the Mimeoplasm deck, you got Damia Sage of Stone and Skullbriar the Walking Grave. So in total with this set, you got 15 brand new Commanders. So each deck essentially came with 2 3-color Commanders and 1 2-color Commander. So if you want to switch out the Mimeoplasm for Damia Sage of Stone and keep playing that Commander deck, you could. Or if you want to build a completely new deck around them, you could do that too. I mean, even though this product came out back in 2011, many of these Commanders are still considered to be very popular today. Now moving forward 1 year to 2012, we get Commander's Arsenal. Unlike the original Commander set from the previous year, these aren't Precons, they're just reprints. And this was actually a very unique product because it came with 2 different kinds of cards. Some of the cards were actually oversized. So instead of being the normal size of a Magic card, they're around 6 by 9 inches. These oversized cards featured legendary creatures of the past. Included in these are Brian Sarum, Glissa the Trader, Zur the Enchanter, Godo, Grim, Azusa, Karthus, and Mael the Enema. Also in those oversized cards are Karn Silver Golem and Sliver Queen. These are both especially notable since they're actually on the reserve list. And that means that they can't be reprinted, but technically since these are oversized, they're not really playable cards, so they got around that. Yeah, the reserve list is kind of weird. But aside from the oversized cards, there were some regular sized cards in there too with Diachan, Edric, Kaalia, Maelstrom Wanderer, Veil of the Nightclad, and the Mimeoplasm. So this was a mix of reprints from some older sets and from the previous Commander product. But moving forward from Commander's Arsenal, we start to get some more Precons. Commander 2013, like the original Commander Precon set, features 5 3-color Commanders. But whereas last time we had wedge colors, this time we've got shard colors. So the Commanders that we got from this Precon set are Derevi, Aloro, Jaleva, Parash, and Marith. Now in that last Commander Precon product, we got 15 Commanders in total. But with this one, we only get a total of 10. So essentially, each of these decks provided a backup Commander that you could switch out with Rune, Sidri, Nekusar, Shattergame Brothers, and Gahiji. Again, this Precon product had a lot of powerful and popular Commanders that you still see today. 2013 kind of marks when we start to get consistent with Precons every single year. So our next product is of course going to be Commander 2014. And with this product, we got a brand new concept with Planeswalkers as commanders. The set featured 5 Planeswalkers, one of each color, and they each said, can be your commander. Now, previously, Planeswalkers were not allowed to be commanders at all. The Rules Committee is separate from Wizards, and their rule is that legendary creatures can only be the ones that can be your commander. Wizards use the text can be your commander to skirt around that rule. I've given my thoughts on this topic before on my podcast, so I'll just leave it at that. Anyways, the commanders for these decks are Nahiri, Teferi, Obnixilis, Daretti, and Freylis. And each deck also came with a legendary creature that could lead the deck, which is Zal, Geralf, Gisa, Feldon, and Titania. So again, more popular and powerful commanders, but the main thing again from this set to remember is that this was when the first Planeswalker commanders were made. And from this set on, it seemed like Wizards was trying to implement new mechanics and things that really just dealt specifically with Commander. So now let's move on to Commander 2015. This set featured 5 2-color decks, and they also brought in experience counters. So those commanders that deal with experience counters are Daxos, Mizzix, Marin, Kalemni, and Azuri. Essentially, each of them care about something, and when that something happens, then you get an experience counter. Again, each of these decks came with one alternative commander with Karlov, Arjun, Mazarek, Anya, and Cassetto. Now, experience counters are definitely something unique to Commander, and many people enjoy building around the commanders that care about them. But perhaps the most impactful Commander year was still yet to come. Many people would argue that that year was 2016 in the set, Commander 2016. So before 2016, at this point in time, there were no 4-color commanders. You could build a monocolor deck, a 2-color deck, a 3-color deck, and even a 5-color deck, but there are no 4-color commanders. Now, I've mentioned this before, and I'll make a quick note. The Nephilim are 4-color and should have been legendary, and Wizards made a huge mistake. But anyways, they decided to give players 4-color commanders in their own way. So these 5 commander precons each featured a 4-color commander. And those 4-color commanders are Breya, Yidris, Saskia, Kineos and Tiro, and Atraxa. Now, technically, these are still the only commanders that are exactly 4 colors. But what they also did that year is they came up with a new kind of mechanic that gave players a lot of options when it came to 4-color commanders. And that was the partner mechanic, which basically says that you can have 2 commanders if both have partner. Now, each of these partner commanders are 2 colors, so if you put 2 together, you can get any combination of 2 colors, or 3 colors, or 4 colors. So in Breya's Precon, you get a Kiri Lineslinger, Silas Wren, Seeker Adept, and Bruce Tarl, Boris Herder. In Yidris' Precon, you get Thrasios Triton Hero, Kaidel Chosen of Krufix, and Vile Smasher the Fierce. In Saskia's Precon, you get Timna the Weaver, Tana the Bloodsower, and Ravo Soul Tender. In Kineos and Tiro, you get Ludovac Necro Alchemist, Sidar Kondo of Dremora, and Krom Ludovac's Opus. And finally, in the Atraxa Precon, you get Rayhan Less of the Abzan, Ishai Ojitai Dragon Speaker, and Ikra Shudiki the Usurper. Now, in many people's opinions, partner mechanics brought some good things, but also some less than good things. First off, they offer you a lot of flexibility in deck building. I'm no math major, but there are 15 partners, and each partner can partner with any of those other ones, so that's a ton. So you can pick and choose your true favorites, and then you can build a deck around them. But again, with partners, this came with somewhat of a negative too. Having access to 2 commanders is just a powerful thing. If in a regular game of Commander, you start off with 7 cards and then 1 commander in the command zone, that's basically 8 cards in your hand to start. With partner commanders, you basically have 9, and again, it's 2 that you always have access to instead of just 1. Also, these partner commanders kind of make it a bit too easy to pick and choose which colors you want. You might actually only care about building the deck around one actual commander, but then you can just pick and choose another partner that has the color pairing that you need. So for example, if you pick a Simic commander and you really just want to build around that commander specifically, and then you're like, you know what, I just also want red and white in that deck too, you just pick one of those commanders and they don't really have to do anything. On top of that, the power level of these partner commanders seem to vary wildly. In fact, perhaps the best of these 2 partners are Thrasios and Timna, and they are the #1 deck in CDH as of now. Again, with Wizards trying new things in Commander, there's going to be some good as well as some bad that might come out of it. But moving on, our next Commander product isn't actually a Commander Precon set with Commander Anthology. This came out back in 2017 and basically featured previous Commander decks. These are strict reprints of the Freylis deck, Derevi, Kalia, and Marin. So while they didn't offer anything new, they offered a way for new players to jump into Commander by getting 4 decks at once. And with those reprints, they also helped lower the prices of some cards as well. But later on in that same year, we got the Commander 2017 Precon set. This was the first year where it changed from having 5 Commander Precon decks to only 4. And these 4 decks were focused on 4 different tribes. The Ur-Dragon was focused on dragons, Arabo is focused on cats, Edgar Markov is focused on vampires, and Anala is focused on wizards. And this is also where we got the heavily debated Eminence mechanic. Eminence is basically an effect that happens whether the commander's in the command zone or on the battlefield. Now again, this mechanic is definitely split on who likes it and who dislikes it. Eminence is kind of like having an enchantment start off on the battlefield when the game starts and it can't be dealt with. These kinds of decks can essentially never cast their commander and they still have a huge impact. Wizards hasn't brought back Eminence since then, and many people hope they don't. Anyways, with the Ur Dragon deck, we also got 4 more commanders with Okagachi, Wasatora, Taigam, and Ramos. With the Urabo deck, we got 3 more cats with Balan, Miri, and Nazan. Edgar Markov only had 2 more with Lycia and Mathis. And with Anala, we got Kess, Marisil, and Taigam. Moving on to the next year with 2018, our first Commander product is actually Commander Anthology Volume 2. So again, like Volume 1, this is just reprints of old Commander decks. So in Volume 2, we get reprints of the Mimeoplasm, Daretti, Kalemni, and Atraxa. And in that same year, we also get the Commander 2018 Precon product. This Commander Precon set featured 1 2-color commander and 3 3-color commanders. And those commanders were some more Planeswalkers with Saheeli the Gifted, Lord Windgrace, Estrid, and Aminatou. Saheeli also came with Brutaclad, Tawnos, and Varchild. Lord Windgrace came with Gyrus, Thantis, and Zancha. Estrid came with Kestia, Tuvasa, and Arixmathes. And Aminatou came with Marina, Yennet, and Yuriko. Many great commanders came out of this set, and Yuriko is still one of the most popular commanders seeing play today. But now let's move on to the most recent commander set with Commander 2019. This one actually followed the exact same pattern as the previous set with 3 3-color commanders and 1 2-color commander. But this time the commanders are creatures instead of planeswalkers. And those commanders are Kadena, Savine, Girid, and Anya. If you started playing Commander recently, these commanders might look really familiar. Anyways, Kadena came with Rayami, Volrath, and Griswold. Savine came with Pramikon, Elsha, and Gerard. Girid came with Atlaplani, Marisi, and Tongarth. And Anya came with Chainer, Grevin, and the extremely broken Carrick. Now, technically, this was the last Commander product up until this point. I say technically because we also had the Throne of Eldraine Brawl Precon decks. Technically, this is not a Commander product, but, no offense, not many people play Brawl, so it is pretty much just a small Commander expansion set. Anyways, the commanders that we got from that are Tulane, Sir Gwyn, Alayla, and Korvold. But moving forward to this year, in 2020, we've got a ton of Commander products. Again, this is the year of Commander, and we've got the Commander Legends set coming out. Let's go over all the Commander products that are going to be coming out in around when they're coming out. First up, we've got 5 Commander Precons from Ikoria, which come out on April 24th. And then there's 2 more coming in Zendikar Rising in Q3, and a Commander Collection Green in Q3 as well. But again, the big one for this year is supposedly going to be Commander Legends. In that product, we get 2 more Precons, as well as an entire main set dedicated to Commander. So this year, we're getting a ton of new Commander products and a ton of new commanders. Now, there are definitely positives and negatives to this with all this attention that Commander's getting. Now, I've already talked about that in my Hopes and Fears episode, so I'll just leave it at that. But now I really want to hear from you. So in the comments below, let me know what you're most excited about. And make sure you're following us on social media for more updates and sneak peeks on future episodes. Again, a huge thank you to my patrons who help make this show possible. I truly couldn't do any of this without your support. If you want to support this channel directly, consider becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, including being able to vote on future commanders for deck tags. There are even tiers where you get your own personalized deck tag dedicated to you. You can check out all the Patreon tiers and rewards at patreon.com/commandersquarters. If you haven't already, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. Here at the Commander's Quarters, we're all about budget Commander. So while you're at it, go ahead and check out some of our other types of episodes. And with that, I'm out of here. Thanks again, and have a good one.